Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I am here with the Ferrari FXXK. I am going to give you the breakdown for Tempest 3 Tier 5 with this car. I keep recommending this car to any player who managed to actually pull it, telling them build it, fusion it out, and you can do Tempest 3 Tier 5 without any Stage 6s. I mentioned it also in my Stage 6 effects video, but let's look specifically in this video at the tuning and setup for Tempest 3 Tier 5. The beauty of the FXXK is that it is so fast with only Stage 5 parts. This car is capable of hitting 8.9 in the half mile. That means even at the minimum beginning limitation of PP points, which is 685, you can already hit 9.9 and 1.699 in the 0 to 100. That doesn't require you to even drive it as perfectly as this car is supposed to be driven, which requires kind of a weird RPM launch, catching the second gear of nitrous, etc., etc. If you're just not in the mood to deal with that, you can run this car a standard way and still get pretty much right through Tempest 3 Tier 5. Except at the very end, you probably need to drive it the other way just to beat the time. But here, let's do a standard launch, which is basically a perfect launch. And we'll short shift 1 and 2 a little bit, and nitrous kind of deep good for everything, run out in 6th gear. That is the easier way to drive the car. It's much easier than the crazy launch techniques that require you to launch at like 7K and catch this, catch that. You will run a little bit slower, 10.143 versus a 9.9 average time. And then the 0 to 100 is a little bit slower as well. But you're already doing 273 mile per hour at the end of the track. And the highest you need to do in this entire tier is a 260. Plus, the 0 to 100 right now you need to do is only a 3.562, and you're doing 2.2 already. And that's what kind of a easy way to drive it. If you do it the harder way to drive it, which generally runs the car better, you can launch it using a 7,000 RPM approximate launch, and then you would nitrous in second and catch it before it shifts. I catch it a little too early there, but before it shifts into red line area, you want to get it into third, and then you ride it out kind of the same way. This will get you a much better time than the original launch method, but again, without doing the second gear perfectly, I'm still a little short on what the dyno says I would do. But once again, this is well beyond what you need for the first part of Tempest 3 Tier 5, 685 bracket. So the next bracket, you're going to move up to 692. Here's the thing. You don't need to upgrade this at all for the 692 bracket or the 699 or even actually all the way until close to 707 because until your opponents are running under 9.9 seconds, you don't have to change the tune at all. You don't have to do any upgrades. But let's do it for the sake of doing it. What would you do for an upgrade? Well, you want to get it close to basically 692, which is actually right here by adding tire, boom, 692. Now, adding the tire gives it quite a bit of evo as well. Not as much as I would like, but a decent amount. Watch the time drop though. Now you're looking at 1.654 0 to 100, 304 mile per hour, 9.488 time. So you're almost quick enough at this point to get close to the last few races in the entire Tempest 3. So let's test run it and see where it gets us. This is, again, only a 692 PP points. This is how good this car is, and no stage 6 needed, none. I'm not using any stage 6s. I'm going to show you all the way to the end without stage 6 because it can do that. And that's what makes this car really unique among its peers is that it actually can get to the end of Tempest 3 Tier 5 without any stage 6. 1.536, 303 mile per hour, 9.471 time. Much better with just a little bit of tire upgrade. The next bracket gives you another 7 pp points up to 699, and you only have to hit 240 mile per hour at the end with a 2.3420 to 100. You're beating that already. So again, you don't even need these upgrades to get to the next level. So what do we do now? We can bump anything else because you really only have 2 stage 5s to add before you're maxed out in stage 5, right? So let's say we throw turbo in. That gets you a 697, and you're not going to be able to put another part in without going over 699. So that's your 699 setup right there. You're almost maxed out as far as stage 5 is concerned. And here, without even fine tuning it, boom, 9.241, 1.5550 to 100. This is almost enough to beat the boss for the final run, almost. But again, this car is not the easiest to drive. So you don't necessarily want to risk that margin there, but this is a very impressive time for just 697 pp points. Incredible car. Again, the whole purpose of this video is to kind of show you you don't need any stage 6s with the FXXK to finish Tempest. And if you have it, whether you got it by luck or you had it during the Golden Cup, whatever reason you have it and you're not finished with Tempest 3, I say build this. Plus, this car is just great in live as well if you know how to drive it, and it can actually do a lot for you. All right, so here, mostly deep good shifts, and I kind of was a little late on second gear, but not terribly bad. 9.233 run. To put that into well, 9.241 actually didn't give me that 33 that I saw, but to put that into a little bit of perspective here, if we look at the actual Tempest final times for the bosses, the final time for Tempest 3 Tier 5 boss is a 9.214. So we're only a few hundreds off from just beating the boss in the final run. And we have one more stage 5 part to install. So let's go back and take a look at that. We're going to install that part, and that would end your entire Tempest 3 Tier 5 challenge here with all stage 5s. Now, mind you, this is all fusions too. Well, fusions are not easy to come by, right? Well, for Ferrari, at least it's possible, unlike for some other brands where you're going to spend a year waiting for that last epic fusion. Ferrari, you can just keep buying F12s and it'll still get you there. So just how fast is this car with just stage 5? I've said it before, this is probably the only car that can beat 9-second flat at stage 5 only. Look at that time. Now you have actually a little bit of margin to play with. You're under 9 seconds and you only have to run 9.214 or so to actually win the boss car. So this is basically going to be good enough to get through the entire Tempest 3 Tier 5 now with just the 701 PP points. I tuned it 0 to 100, 1.4, 8.978. Even if I run a 9.0, let's say I don't run it so well, I run a 9.091, I'm going to beat the boss. And this is without any stage 6. All right, let's go ahead and race it. And again, I'm going to launch it around 7,000. That was a little bit more than 7,000 there, but same effect. As long as you don't let the needle bounce red line, you shouldn't get a terrible time. Now, it won't be dyno, but it'll be close. 8.972. So 323 mile per hour, 8.972. I have now just taken down Harkness for his car with this FXXK using no stage 6 whatsoever. I made this video because I've been telling people about how this car can do the entire Tempest on stage 5 only, but I think that portion of my stage 6 effects video discussion kind of got lost. So I'm separately making this just to actually show people that you need none of the stage 6s for this car to get through Tempest 3 Tier 5. If you got the car, build it. It's a great car. Not only that, it is also a relatively good dyno beating car with just a little bit of fine tuning of certain parts, which once you get the right parts off, it'll do the job. Now, I haven't quite hit that point yet, but it's coming. Just got to get that Evo drop to happen. Okay, I think I've dropped enough parts. All I have to do now is get that grip down, and that should be right there. Okay, a little more aggressive than I would like at this point, but there's your Dino Crusher tune for live if you need it. Okay, 11.4 on a 10.3. All right, so it's about a second. That's a little too much. I mean, if you use some stage 6s and combo it, it actually is better. You actually get a less aggressive tune to beat Dino. You can drive it to beat Dino just by a hair, which we all know isn't really that great in live. You really need to have the car beating Dino by at least 2/10, and then lobby the car into the middle of a bracket to have a multiple run winning car that doesn't instantly get bumped into a faster lobby. That's an entirely different discussion, but this is the conclusion of this video, which specifically focused on the Tempest 3 Tier 5 tune. Hey, I hope this is helpful to you. If you got this car, build it, use it. Um, I'm going to start doing some more Tempest specific videos for specific cars. The next one's going to be a Tier 2, and then I'll jump to Tier 3 and back and forth. Now, Tier 4, we know there are only certain cars that'll do certain things. I will make videos on those. Again, I did them before, but only on specific items such as 260 mile per hour. But I will start doing some breakdowns on those as well. I hope you liked the video, and I hope you have this car, or if you have this car, you would now at least think about using it for Tempest if you haven't used it for it already. In any case, one of the only cars in the game that can do everything at stage 5 only. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you can get notifications when I do more videos, and as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.